Hello, and welcome to A Conversation with Rad. And I am your host, Radcliffe. And today we'll be diving into some captivating discussion where every episode will bring you fresh insight, inspiring stories, and candid conversations. And a few of the things we'll be discussing today: lifelong friendships, career journeys, connections that shape our lives, and last but not least, a trip down memory lane that is off state.
I see it every day.
So without further ado, let me introduce you to our guest. I would have said first guest, but someone kind of took that spot. So let me introduce you to our guest, Shiva Bolden, otherwise known as Uncle Val. Right. And throughout this conversation, you might hear Chev, Chevy, or Uncle Vel. You won't hear the full name anymore.
Nah,
All right.
I
So
rarely go by Chevelle.
who's Chevelle?
I don't know. If somebody say that name, I'm like, is the police with them? Either that or my mother.
And it's definitely not your mom.
No. Well, if she calling my name right now, we all in trouble.
Something is wrong.
Cause she been dead and gone for 5 years now. So if she calling my name, we in trouble. And if you can hear her too, yeah, we all in trouble.
And we all in trouble.
Yep. I'm sorry. Let's get going. Let's get going.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I wanted to mention, before we dive into it, anything like that, is something that you do, on a regular basis, is you have a podcast, and as we can see on the screen, on the floor, where you do with your sister and your nieces.
Yes.
And it is some candid conversations. It's open conversation. It's captivating conversations with audience across the world. From the last time I listened, I know it's worldwide, so it's across the world. So that is really a good thing. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Hey, listen, anytime I can help somebody, get going, get started, I'm having fun.
And that's why we're here. We're here to have a little fun while we talk about this thing called Brotherhood, that keep us going.
Yes, sir.
So let's start. All right. So again, thank you for joining us today. And so the first thing we want to do is tell the audience where you're calling in from, and probably just a little fun fact about yourself, whether it's the podcast that I already mentioned or something else.
Well, I'm actually calling in from Buffalo, New York.
Woo-hoo! Wait. You can't just say Buffalo, because that's where we all stemmed from.
Okay.
As far as our collegiate, years. So big up Buff.
Okay. I call in from our old stomping grounds, Buffalo, New York, home of BSC, now known as BSU, Buffalo State College, Buffalo State University. I came here and ended up staying and just been living life and enjoying it. I don't enjoy the winters anymore, but I've been enjoying it. Fun fact about me: I worked security in clubs for over 20 years. So when you came to the front door, I was there.
So you were the bouncer.
Yes, I was.
You were the enforcer.
I was one of the heads of security.
Listen, you're a part of security. So you were the one that, forced folks out that wasn't, acting the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, but I was always the one that talked to them, and try. I would listen, and and if they were acting up, I would walk them out nicely, before somebody else walked them out not so nicely. So they would always come and talk to me first.
So you're the first, and then if it goes beyond you,
they in trouble. They were in trouble. Yeah. Or some of my other security guys thought I was talking to them too long. They were in trouble. Yeah. Another fun fact about that, I think this one club, the first time I started working there, I think me and Okie had actually went out that night to go to the bouncers. One of the head bouncers was a friend of mine that we went to Buff State together, and he was like, "You want to work?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm hanging out tonight." So he was like, "Well, come back." He's like, "You sure you don't want to work?" I said, "Nah, I'm hanging out." Well, he's like, "Come back." And so I went back the next week, and the rest is history.
Do you think?
Yeah.
And it's amazing, right? How long you know, the brotherhood has been around, right? For some of us, and I'm gonna say this throughout all our episodes. I'm the youngin of the group. I'm in my fees. According to the brotherhood, on the government documents, I'm a different age. All right.
I feel
So
I feel that government, so we have to hide those government documents. We got to get rid of them.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing over the decades. We're catching up, and it seems as if we were just together last week.
Yeah. Yes. If folks, if you haven't mentioned this in the earlier episodes, we do a weekly Zoom call, and it's so refreshing. It's so needed, and it's part of the week that I really look forward to, not just because of the brothers that are involved, but, it's brothers that we've been friends. Damn that. We've been family for over 30 something years. And some of us at some point have lost contact, lost touch with each other, but you wouldn't know that by the way that when we get on that call, it was like you said, it was like I just saw you yesterday, and so I really enjoy it. And then it's very informational, it's very supportive, and honestly is very loving. It's something to have so many brothers that love and support each other, and that got each other's backs and are there if you got a question, you got a concern, you got anything, if you just need to get something off your mind, off your chest or whatever. We definitely are that we listen but we don't judge, and we need that. We need this safe space.
Yes, we do. You kind of jumped into that, something that I was going to talk about meeting the group, back then, and how we are today. It's just one of those things where, again, I was going to say friendship, but it's a brotherhood.
Yes.
It's a family.
Yes.
And it is just a great thing. So, I say thank you all the time. And I said this on a previous session that I look forward to Saturdays at 6 o'clock and beyond.
Yes.
The wife knows my time.
It's gonna be beyond. What time limit? There is no time limit. We have people that fall asleep on us.
I won't call no name.
I didn't say any names. I just said we have people that fall asleep on us. So they can't say we demeaning them or defaming them. Nope. We just say they go to sleep. That's all.
I will not call no names.
But like you said though, with the brotherhood,
listen, before you go any further, there's a chat going on. I don't know if you can see the chat.
No.
Some brothers are saying you're calling them out.
I didn't. Did I say any names? I did not say Trevor Dane. Did I say that? No.
Listen, I can't control what is said in these chats. All right.
I was minding my business. I didn't say anybody's name.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Gosh, it's crazy. So I want to pivot just a little bit. I'll kind of dive down into memory lane just a little bit. And one of the brothers who inspired us getting back together, Brother Tennyson, who we lost, God rest his soul. I want to talk about him a little bit, right? I want to see, do you have any memories of, your first interaction with Tennyson? Mine may not be good for a listening audience because his kids may hear it.
Well, mine is how do you say it's PC or
PG-13. No, they're all PGs. The only thing is he got me into places that maybe I shouldn't be there because I maybe shouldn't be drinking at the age I was there. That's all I'm saying.
Now, for me, the lasting memory with Tennyson was joke, and then the look he would give you after he said the joke, and then when you'd be walking across campus and he'd pick you up with that damn van, that PSA van.
The PSA van, yes.
And then you get in, and the first person you see is him. You know what? I'll walk, because he's gonna tell you a joke that you don't want to hear. But he was a good brother. He definitely was a good brother, and we spent a lot of time together. Just in the union, hanging out with, we used to hang out with Claudel and Trevor and Okie and, all of us. Listen, one of my favorite things that I always cherish and I keep with me is on Fridays when we used to go to Moot Hall.
Oh.
Now, at Moot Hall, we had some famous battles playing a drinking game. Man, I went to Buff State, I ain't got nothing. But, we playing the drinking game, and I remember the game, Drink While You Think.
Drink while you think.
Yeah. And we were using names, but it would probably be about 10 to 15 of us around the table, beers, chicken wings, whatever, just spending several hours there. Sometimes we'd open the place and close it. And then we would leave there, go up to the White Horse, which was
White Horse.
Yeah, I think it was Premier on Grant Street.
On Grant. Okay.
And get a case of Labatt's extra stock and go to Trevor's house.
Where Trevor used to have all, I don't know, was it OE or one of those in his fridge, those 40s?
Listen, I don't even want to talk about OE. Yeah, OE got me in trouble one day. But that was one of my cherished memories is just all of us hanging out at Moot Hall and just getting together and just hanging out and talking mess and just enjoying being with each other. Sometimes the ladies would come, but they'd be off on the side because we sitting back there drinking our beer, playing our game or whatever. We had a good time.
But that's what the Brotherhood is all about, right? You had all of us, less me and the us, because I was a youngin' then, but you guys all came from different walks of life and find that camaraderie with each other, right? And up until this day, which is after, I want to say it's almost 40 years. For me, it's 30. You guys still.
I came to Buffalo and I'm going to age myself.
Listen. Remember, on this, you don't have to say that age.
Okay. I ain't going to say the age. I was just going to give the year I came to Buffalo. I came to Buffalo in 1987.
So 2 years before I started.
Yeah. But it was 2 years after some folks, though.
And you still ain't calling no names,
I ain't
right?
calling no names.
But those are the brothers that paved the way for us.
Definitely. The Saturday football games out at the Psych Center Field. The rec and intramurals. I used to work for intramurals, and then they would a lot of times they'd come be trying to be playing basketball in the bubble. So we had a good time. We definitely did. There's some brothers that were with us for a lot of the journey, but sometimes you got to cross the street from them. They ain't with us now. They still alive, but they ain't on the same street we are. I ain't saying no names.
I'm sure they won't be listening to this cast.
No, no.
You're all good.
Yeah, but
you do need sometimes, those brothers who pave the way for you, show you, how things are and allow you to do your own thing at the same time, because a lot of us needed that.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've had a lot of those brothers, of course, the brothers that we deal with, with our Zoom call, Okie and Trevor and Claudel. Another funny story, me and Rambo got drunk one night and decided, well, we're going to go down to this club that used to be down, the reggae club used to be down, the Icon.
Downtown, yes.
Well, we didn't just go downtown. We decided to ride bikes down to the club. So we rode bikes all the way down to the Icon, not realizing we got to ride them bitches back at like 3:00 in the morning. So yeah. But and then some other brothers that I'm still very tight with. To this day, I just don't see them as often. Like Steve, Mike and my old RA, Steve's
Chet.
we call him Big Steak. So if you ever get a chance to talk to him, you ask him what is Big Steak. If he don't start laughing, he'll tell you. Yep.
Didn't he and even Mike kind of start working back at state?
Yes. Yes, I think Mike right now is the assistant director for Residence Life.
Residence Life?
Yeah. And Eves is a
Oh.
big wig, and I don't know, I know at one point he was in diversity or whatever, but I don't know exactly what he's doing now.
That is, yeah. I remember. I remember the last time I sent him a text. And by the way, just to protect everyone who's not on our sessions, we can use first names, but let's divert from the full name for them. All right. But I remember,
Listen,
and then
they already know they cannot run for public office and I'm still alive. They know that.
you hear that from the on the four. That it's crazy. I'm sure. I'm sure they're not going to run for public office.
No.
They already know that within themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, so a lot of us came up through all the craziness in Buffalo. Some decide to stay back, and then we have others that
Branched off.
disperse across the state,
The country, actually.
across the country. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, because we have folks in Florida, Frank. We have folks in where's DJ Pay from?
Isn't he in Oregon?
Where is he?
Yeah.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Pay. And then most of the rest are. And we also have someone in a DMV.
Yep.
So yeah, but we've come through this system called Buffalo, not bus state,
Yes.
because Buffalo itself was a system.
Yes.
There were so many things going on there,
Yes.
right? So we've all come through this system and made our way and are doing different things, family, career, and whatever it is, that we're doing. So let's dive, as we talk about career,
Mhm.
let's dive into the journey, your journey, because you already mentioned that you were doing some bouncing,
Yes.
bouncing folks like me out of the club where I'm not supposed to be into where you are today.
Well, I did that simultaneously, so for the last 26 years, I've been working with individuals with developmental disabilities. So did I go to school for that? No. I just happened to fall into it, basically. Before I got to this job, I was working for the Salvation Army.
Mm-hmm.
During Christmas time, when you see them out ringing the bells, don't give them no money. Anyway. Anyway, I was
Late.
I was working for the Salvation Army. I was working at their homeless shelter. Then I started working part-time for an agency that dealt with folks with disabilities.
Okay.
So I was doing that. And then two of the ladies that I was working with, they were like, well, they were working part-time as well, but at their full-time job with the agency I'm with now, they were like, we have a manager's opening that you would be perfect for. So they kept talking to me about it, so then finally I applied. So no lie, when the day of my interview, I had the flu. I still went to the interview. There was 10 people in the room interviewing me.
It was meant to be.
But I didn't get it initially. So, and then it just so happened a friend of mine was the administrator of the site. So I didn't get it initially. But they were like, you need to claim it. They were praying over me for it, whatever. 2 days later, he calls me. Are you still interested in the job? I was like, yeah. Apparently, the person that they decided to go with couldn't pass the drug test. I said, well, you ain't got no issues with me with that. Boom, 26 years later.
And I'm assuming it was more than OE. That person,
yeah, because if they were testing for OE, we both wouldn't have made it. So,
but that is great though, that you found your way in working with individuals who have development disability.
Yes,
because not everybody can do it, right?
No, and you know what? And working with them, I've gained such a greater sense of who they are. So when you know how growing up you see somebody that wasn't, and that we don't use the R word,
Yes.
but you see somebody and it's like, and then I work with those folks, I know the supports they need and just the struggle they go to just to have some type of a normal life, so I feel good when, I can, if there's anything I can do for them, they want to be able to eat a cookie on their own and I can help them do that. hey, more power to you, you know?
That is definitely a great thing because you have to have patience,
Yes.
have the patience of a saint, and a lot of us don't have those things.
And you can't take stuff personal. You can't take stuff personal. And I see that a lot just with a lot of the staff that we hire. You know, she spit at me. If you read her plan, spitting is how she gets your attention, you know? So don't take it personally. She's trying to get you, you're not paying attention to her, you know?
So do you think you learned something at state that prepared you for that, even though this is not what you studied? Something, maybe a class that tells you that I could do this, even though that's not what you studied.
The honest answer, no.
Hmm. No.
I think what more helped me in this field was bouncing because that really helped me increase my patience with people, you know, and you know, and I'll listen to you all day until you get to the point where you treat me like I'm stupid. Then I can't deal with you no more. You know, and I've always been like that though. You can tell me your sob story and give me, you know, talk your point and with everything. But then when you start treating me like I'm the stupid one, well, you've lost now. Your only hope is done, you know. But honestly, no, I don't think there was one class or something that did it for me.
Mhm.
I really don't.
Yeah, and I guess, if I'm looking at it from my perspective, right? Sometimes, like for me, I was always a technical person,
Mhm.
right? So it was natural for me to go down the path that I go. And you'll hear about my path later. I'm not going to get into it because either you or Ook will be having a discussion with me,
Okay.
being on the other end. So I'm not going to get too deep into it. But when I left high school, I thought I wanted to be an engineer. And I kind of pursued that route. Even into college, I did some stuff, even though I didn't end up exactly where I went to school for, but it's close enough. So I understand not not everyone is gonna have something from college that really, push them into where they are today. And that's what it's all about, right? It's the journey, right?
Yeah, and I tell.
I mentioned
Okay, I'm sorry.
sorry, I
Okay.
mentioned it earlier in a session, right? Between these two lines is where you figure yourself out, right? For you, it was when you did the bouncing, right? That taught you how to handle the things that you're dealing with today.
And I got another fun fact about myself. When I first came to Buff State, I was a theater major.
Theater.
Yes.
So you were Denzel before Denzel was Denzel.
I was behind the scenes. I was behind the scenes. So growing up, I worked for, especially during the summers and after school, I worked for an after school program that was based on the arts, you know, video, theater, you know, stage and all of that stuff. So for several years, especially during the summer, we would put on plays, you know, and I was a stage manager. And then, like in high school during the school year, we had an ensemble group that would go around to different nursing homes, senior citizens, doing like one act plays and stuff like that. So I was their stage manager for that. So when I came here and signing up for my theater classes or whatever, and I guess because I've had that experience beforehand, I'm sitting in the theater class and I'm like, this is so boring. I'm like, this is boring. I got to meet and work with the stage manager that did fences. I was working with people was doing PSAs for celebrities and stuff. And you got me sitting in this boring ass theater class. And then there was a issue with my registration for the class, and I was like, I'm out of here. I withdrew from the class. I'm done.
That's it.
Yeah. And I think
So,
it just turned me off.
mm.
That experience just turned me off.
So here I am thinking I know a thespian. For those who don't know what it
Thespian,
is,
yes.
what they listen to.
He said thespian, not the L word.
Here I am thinking I know a person who is a thespian, and now you're saying you hated that stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna say I hated it. I hated the process
Mhm.
because, like I said, I had gotten all that experience before even coming here, And then now you got me sitting in this boring class doing like elementary stuff when I'm like, I've done that before. You know, I've worked with union workers and where they had me rolling up damn cable for 6 hours, you know? So I've done it all, you know, and then I had the chance, like I said, to do, you know, be the stage manager for several plays over, you know, several different summers, and you know, and you get to call the shots and do all that stuff and work with all the actors. And but I digress.
No, my friend. No. Again, as I mentioned, it's those dotted lines. And that's what I think our audience, wants to hear is what are some of these bits in between that made you who you are today. So speaking of that and some of those bits, and this is a plug, but it's something I still want to jump into.
Okay.
I like the conversations you and the family have on the floor, right? It is a really good conversation because it's among family, and you've made a decision that we're going to have these conversations and nothing is out of bound. You kind of have those things and talk about those.
We're in season 3 now, and it's getting even spicier. We recorded last night, and all I can say is my sister, I have to get bail money together for because she a wild one, and I'm like, this the same person I grew up with. I'm okay
She's the
now.
one everybody loves.
Yeah, she crazy. Wait till you hear this episode.
And I will be
Yes,
listening.
wait till you hear
I
this
will.
one. She crazy, man. I'm like, yo, and you can hear me in the recording saying, "Wow, it only took us 45 seconds into the recording to get here."
But, you know,
But yeah, I agree with you though.
she's always that way, though. So it's
Oh
not
yeah,
like it's something new.
it's not a
You just didn't
surprise.
expect it to leap.
Be so early in the recording, yeah. But you know, honestly, I love it. You know, we've been doing it now 3 years. You know, we're on season 3, like I said, and it's fun. You know, as much as like I look forward to Saturdays with the guys, I look forward to we record on Thursdays. Thursdays coming and we doing our recordings. You know, we have fun, you know, because we are family. So a lot of the times, even if we fighting with each other, it's gonna be in that recording, you
Yeah,
know, and then we're gonna take a shot afterwards,
at the shot o'clock.
shot o'clock,
Yes.
you know. But it's fun. I enjoy it, and we're just gonna keep doing it.
I think you guys are doing a good thing.
Thank you, thank you.
It's a family thing. It's family owned. You guys say where it goes and where it doesn't. So that's what I like about it. So keep that going.
And thank you for listening, man. Thank you.
Thank you for putting content out there that I can listen to. Sometimes I just want to get away from everything else and have tree in my head. Yeah. Tree, so I do appreciate it. So we're coming close, to that time.
Okay.
Um, and I really, really want to say thank you for gracing us with your presence and just have this conversation. This is what this is all about. It's about this brotherhood having a conversation, sharing some of our experiences, sharing something that we hope can help someone else out there. And that's what it's all about. So this is the inaugural season. So I really, really appreciate, you coming on. Appreciate your help
No,
getting
anytime.
it together.
Can I say something?
Please.
I just want to say I'm proud of you, and you know I'm here to any question you got. You know, hey, you know what? If any way you know I can help you get to season 3, you know I'm willing. You know, but I am proud of you, man.
Yeah, I do appreciate it. So we'll definitely keep it going.
Yes, sir.
We have other brothers coming up and stuff like that. And, we'll help this go forward. Not sure how many of the brothers we're going to have, but we'll have enough to give us a season.
Can I do a shameless plug?
Please.
Please, everybody, tune in to the On the 4 podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, and we're on iHeart Podcasts. And we also have a YouTube channel, On the 4 Podcast by Riverside. But please, please, please continue to listen to us and to tune in to Conversations with Rad.
Thank you, Brother
All right,
Val.
sir.
please tune in. I have not said where we will hear this yet. More than likely will be on YouTube, but that will be shared with our audience so where they can tune in and stuff like that. But I definitely appreciate your encouragement, your leadership and stuff like that in getting this going. So thanks again. Any final word before we close out?
Yeah, just the folks that know, take a nap before Saturday.
I'm not sure who that shade is being thrown at, but I'm going to leave it alone. And I'm sure they'll
listen,
have something to say about
but
it.
if they respond, they think it was at them.
Listen, all I'm saying is,
Oh, somebody responded.
I'm just saying they may have something to say later, in the next episode because I'm going their direction next.
Oh, they coming up next.
They coming up next, man.
What up, brother?
What's up, man?
What's going?
Hey, I was waiting for you to tell Rad about the racquetball lessons I had to give you.
He asked for a good memory. I ain't want to embarrass nobody. But since you brought up Rad, they used to play me 2-on-1
No,
and still lose. Oh, listen, I got a story for you though. Before we go, a real quick story. It had nothing to do with you, Mr. Eves. I was playing one day. I had my wife with me. He decides to challenge me,
that move.
telling me all the stuff he was gonna do in front of my girl and everything. So Mr. Eves decides to come downstairs. Let's just say 21-2, 21-4. Mr. Eves was not happy.
That's dude right here, man. I'm telling you, man, Brad, this dude was off the hook, man. Racket, man. I'm telling you, man.
So wait a minute.
I used to play handball when I growing up in the Bronx.
Chev, hold on. I thought the only thing you had going for you were the thespian, but you're telling me you could have been on the circuit?
That's right.
Yeah, I could have, man. I could have. Yo, I had my racket, man. I had my racket and everything, man.
Man, mean game, man. For real. Mean game, man. He did. Hats off to you, Chev.
Hey,
Put it
Mr.
on us. All right. I'm out of here. Peace, brothers.
All right, man.
Thank you for jumping in. Appreciate it.
We see you tomorrow, man.
All right.
Hold on. Ook, hold on a second.
Yes.
Because some people are throwing shade and calling names. So I don't know what's going on.
What up, brethren?
You're calling brothers out?
Man, boy, oh boy, I was listening and Chevelle gave
Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
We couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hold on.
Still nothing. Chev, you got to stop throwing shades because
I didn't listen. I was just talking.
People have to know, man. He had the dude was off the hook, man. Racquetball, man. I'm telling you, man. Yep.
I'm saying we had sometimes though I'd be working and the guys coming to play in the bubble.
Yeah, man.
Trev,
you can hear me now?
Can you say something? Still can't hear.
Yeah,
Let me see if you
I don't know why. Let me see. It says 95. It's uploading
can't
something.
hear you
it's almost
at
done.
all.
90. It's doing something.
Maybe try that thing that we did.
It's uploading
Let
something
me see
right
if
now.
I turn off.
What it's doing. One second.
Is this the longest interview you've had so far?
No, and I'm not gonna call it any names. I'm just gonna leave it.
Damn. Let me guess. He took you through one of his workshops.
Listen,
That's cool. Though. I'm enjoying this, man. I'm enjoying this.
I have nothing to do with.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You can hear me? Okay, good. Finally, huh? What's up, Ook?
What's going on, brother? Everything's good, man.
What's going on, man? Chevelle's whole session was burying Trevor. You know what I mean?
It was not. It was not. Don't even try it.
So before we,
I said I didn't even say no names. All I said was people be falling asleep. That's all I said.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
I was not.
We're still recording, just to let you.
Dude, okay.
This is the candid session.
We can edit that stuff out.
No,
That's true.
we can leave it in.
But no, but I did say though, some of the best times were those days we spent at Moot Hall.
Wow.
Moot Hall, and then we go get that damn case of extra stock.
Oh my goodness. You
I
brought up
think we
mood.
should stop
Yeah.
now.
Wow.
But I appreciate you all, though. I
Yes.
really appreciate the conversation.
I see
Congrats,
you
man.
guys.
I have this other fellow coming up that you guys can, say some stuff about in his chat.
Who's next?
I'm not calling any names. I'm not calling any names. I refuse
Listen,
to call
if
names.
I hang up and I feel something in the back of my neck, I might tune back in.
Yeah,
All right, later, brothers. Later.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks, man.
again. All right.
So that you can end it so you can upload.
Yeah. So again,
Uploading.
thank you for tuning into a conversation with Rad. I hope the discussion sparked some new and insightful and inspiration, discussion you can continue having. Again, until next time, stay curious, keep discussing. Thanks.
Peace.